Hey everybody, this is meant to be sort of a extension from the last video, which was technique exercises, a couple of super quick things that you can learn that you can throw into your warm-up routine, or if you're sort of getting more serious about your guitar playing. It's just kind of an introduction into some technique exercises you can do. So this video is about introducing the metronome into those exercises. There's loads and loads of ways of introducing the metronome. This video here is really just meant to be an introduction. If you've never played with a metronome, this is meant to give you some quick understanding of some ways that you can use it. It's by no means exhaustive. I have a lot of students that think about the metronome. I'll say, hey, have you ever practiced to a metronome before? And they'll say yeah, and I hated it, or so, yeah, I hate metronomes, something like that. It's like a 12-year-old kid. How can you hate metronomes? You're 12, But I think what's happening with most of these students is that they don't really know how to use the metronome, or they're thinking of it I always use the analogy of weights at the gym, right? It's like this week you lifted 60 pounds, maybe next week you're going to try and lift 65 pounds. Metronomes don't really work like that. So if you keep trying to up the speed, up the speed, up the speed, that's not really the most effective way of practicing to a metronome, and that might make you want to go mental. So this is just meant to help you learn how to practice with a metronome. And we're going to use some of the patterns and technique exercises that I showed you in the last video. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that one out and then follow along here. So I've got a metronome here on my phone. I don't know if you can see that. It's plugged into a mixer right now, so I can't really pull it right in front of the camera, but it's at 60 beats per minute. Actually, maybe I can. Yeah, here. I'm using some free metronome app. I don't know. This whole thing could blow up in my face. There's my metronome right there, set to 60 beats per minute. So if I hit start on the metronome, you should hear it. Yeah, there it is. So if I take, for example, the very first technique exercise that I did in the last video and play it along to this metronome, I'm going to play it at what I'm going to call quarter notes, which means one note every click. Okay, so that's going to look like this. That's quarter notes at 60 beats per minute. We can try the same thing at eighth notes, right? So eighth notes is going to be 2 clicks every 2 notes every beat. So da 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 1 and 2 and like that. So it sounds like this. Right? That's eighth notes. We could try the same thing at eighth note triplets, which is 3 notes every click. Da, 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 ba, 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 like that. So let's try that. And the last division of time that I like to use is 16th notes, which is 4 notes in every click. 1E and a 2E, and that's how you're supposed to count that. So right, 16th notes. Now those are the 4 divisions of time that you should try practicing to a metronome at. So we've got quarter notes once every click, eighth notes twice every click, eighth note triplets 3 times every click, and 16th notes 4 times every click. It is not important that you keep the tempo the same. I did it there just kind of for the sake of efficiency. It just takes less time for me to keep the thing at the same speed. But if you need to practice quarter notes at 60 beats per minute, eighth notes at 50 beats per minute, eighth note triplets at 40 beats per minute, and 16th notes at 30 beats, it doesn't matter. It's not important. You're not practicing speed, right? Like a lot of people who can play really fast, and I'm not necessarily like the biggest shredding guitar player, but like a lot of people who can play really fast, the reason why they can play so fast is because they're listening to the tempo or the song and they're saying, oh, here's where 16th notes would fit at that tempo. They're not like tensing up their hand, and it's not like sprinting, right? I always kind of use this analogy. If you sprint, you tense up your leg muscles and you run, right? If you try and do the same thing on guitar, you're gonna have to play fast despite the fact that now your hand is really like tensed up and cramped up. You have to be relaxed in your left hand in order to play fast, and the only way that you can be relaxed is if you're not thinking of it as a mechanical thing, but you're thinking of it as you're listening for the division of time, right? So when you practice this way to a metronome, quarter notes, eighth note triplets, and 16th notes, you're teaching yourself what those divisions of time sound like. It doesn't matter if you're doing it quickly or if you're doing it slowly. You're teaching yourself what those divisions of time sound like. And once you have a really good understanding of, for example, what 16th notes sound like at a given tempo, if someone speeds a tempo up for you, it's not going to mess you up. You're still going to be able to hear what 16th notes would sound like at that tempo. So you can run those exercises to the metronome with those different divisions of time using the exercise that I went through in this video, or you can use any of the variations that are in my other video about technique exercises. So check that out, and if you want to try some of the different variations, try those. So I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.